Words are not just sounds we utter. They are the carriers of energy, vibrations that ripple through the very fabric of human perception and emotion. Every time you speak, you are transmitting a signal that affects the person listening on multiple levels, consciously and unconsciously. The 5 words that have the power to make a man risk everything for you are effective precisely because they resonate deeply with something inside him that he cannot articulate, something he feels but cannot always name. These words act like a key turning in a lock, unlocking emotions, desires, and drives that are often dormant or hidden. When spoken with genuine intention, they bypass the rational mind and reach straight into his core, stirring feelings of purpose, connection, and attraction. It is not merely the words themselves that hold the power, but the meaning and energy you infuse into them. The human brain responds to emotional cues far more than it does to logic or reason, which is why the energy behind your communication matters more than the technical correctness of what you say. A man may hear hundreds of words in a day, but only the ones that carry emotional weight will leave a lasting impression. To understand this, one must recognize that words are triggers. They can awaken longing, loyalty, protectiveness, and devotion. When you speak with clarity and confidence, these triggers activate without him even realizing why he is compelled to act. This is the subtle art of emotional influence, where your language becomes a tool not of manipulation, but of connection. These 5 words function as a catalyst, igniting a chain reaction inside him that motivates him to show up, to invest, and to take risks he might not otherwise consider. Each syllable, each pause, each emphasis matters because they all contribute to the emotional resonance that your words carry. When delivered with presence, they convey not just desire, but also assurance, security, and validation, making him feel seen, understood, and appreciated on a level that transcends ordinary interaction. Moreover, the timing and context in which you say them can magnify their impact exponentially. A moment charged with anticipation, intimacy, or vulnerability heightens the emotional response, making the words almost impossible to ignore. The power of words also lies in their ability to create a mental image, a vision of connection, partnership, or fulfillment that he instinctively wants to pursue. When the words align with his values, his desires, and his vision of himself as a capable, loving, and protective partner, they strike a chord so profound that his mind and heart converge in a desire to act. Understanding this dynamic requires a shift in perspective, from seeing words as mere communication to seeing them as tools for emotional activation, tools that can awaken the highest potential in the person listening. These words are not about control or coercion, they are about resonance, about tapping into the innate drives that exist within every man to protect, provide, and prove himself to someone he values deeply. By mastering the art of purposeful speech, you learn to create moments where your words become invitations to action, moments where he feels compelled from a place of admiration, love, and respect, feeling that the risk is not only worth it, but necessary, and the energy behind your voice, the sincerity, and the authenticity with which you speak ensures that the impact is both immediate and enduring, leaving an imprint on his consciousness that can influence his choices and his actions in ways that are subtle, profound, and transformative. Confidence is the silent language that speaks louder than any words ever could. And it is the magnet that naturally draws people, especially men, toward a woman who embodies it. When a woman exudes confidence, she is signaling to the world that she knows her worth, that she values herself, and that she expects to be treated with respect and admiration. This self-assured energy is irresistible because it communicates stability, strength, and authenticity, qualities that trigger a man's desire to protect, provide, and commit. Confidence is not about arrogance or superiority. It is a deep, unwavering belief in one's own value and abilities, a calm assurance that radiates from within and is instantly recognizable. A man instinctively senses when a woman is confident because her posture, tone, and presence align perfectly, creating an aura of authority and allure that is impossible to ignore. This alignment between her inner belief and outward expression creates an energy that is magnetic, compelling him to respond with attention, effort, and devotion. When combined with the right words, confidence amplifies their effect exponentially, turning even a simple phrase into a powerful catalyst that stirs deep emotions and inspires action. Confidence also conveys clarity and decisiveness, which are incredibly attractive traits. A woman who speaks her mind with calm certainty and moves through life with purpose signals that she knows what she wants and is unwilling to settle for less. This clarity challenges a man in the best possible way, motivating him to rise to the occasion, to match her energy, and to demonstrate his capability to support, protect, and love someone who clearly values herself. Beyond attraction, confidence creates an environment where a man feels safe to express his own emotions, desires, and vulnerabilities. When a woman is grounded in her own worth, she does not rely on his validation, which paradoxically makes him want to give it freely. The more secure she is in herself, the more he is inspired to invest emotionally, mentally, and even materially, because he perceives her as someone whose life is rich, fulfilling, and deserving of his effort. Confidence also allows a woman to set boundaries naturally, without guilt or hesitation, which communicates respect for herself and expects respect from others. This boundary setting is an invisible force that shapes behavior and drives men to act with integrity, consistency, and courage. In addition, confident women create a sense of admiration and aspiration. Men are drawn to those who embody qualities they respect, and confidence is a living testament to self-mastery, independence, and grace under pressure. The way she carries herself, the subtle nuances of her voice, the steadiness in her gaze, and the ease in her movement all send signals of capability and inner power. This energy makes her words, especially the 5 words that spark deep emotional and behavioral responses, land with far greater intensity and resonance. Ultimately, confidence transforms interaction from ordinary communication into an exchange that feels electric, charged with the promise of respect, admiration, and deep connection, compelling a man to rise, to act, and to risk in ways he might never have considered, because he is responding not just to her words, but to the undeniable energy of a woman who knows and owns her own power. Power fully and effortlessly. Connection is the invisible thread that binds hearts and minds. And creating an emotional bond with a man is far more powerful than any surface level attraction or fleeting charm. True connection goes beyond appearances and superficial conversations. It taps into his inner world, his dreams, fears, desires, and insecurities. When a woman understands the language of emotional resonance, she learns how to communicate in a way that makes him feel profoundly seen, understood, and valued. This kind of connection is not forced or manufactured. It is cultivated through attentiveness, empathy, and authenticity, where every word, gesture, and pause is an opportunity to deepen the bond. Men are naturally drawn to women who reflect their own feelings and aspirations back to them in ways that feel intuitive and validating, because this creates a sense of alignment and harmony that is deeply satisfying. Emotional connection is about creating a space where he feels safe to open up without fear of judgment, where his thoughts and feelings are acknowledged and honored, and where his efforts to show care and commitment are recognized and appreciated. When a woman speaks from a place of authenticity and emotional intelligence, the 5 words that carry immense power resonate on a level that bypasses logic and triggers action from a place of genuine desire and devotion. It is the feeling behind the words that matters most. When he experiences that his emotions are reflected and amplified by her presence, he develops an unconscious drive to reciprocate, to show up, and to invest in ways that exceed expectations. Emotional connection also involves creating shared experiences that carry meaning, moments that leave an imprint on his memory and heart. Laughter, vulnerability, shared dreams, and even moments of challenge become opportunities to reinforce the bond, deepening his emotional investment and making him feel that his life is richer because of her presence. Understanding his motivations, passions, and what he values most allows her to communicate in a way that feels tailored and personal, which dramatically increases the impact of the words she chooses to say. Connection is not about dependency or manipulation. It is about resonance, where two emotional frequencies align and create a synergy that compels action naturally. The deeper the emotional connection, the more he feels inspired to take risks, to prioritize her, and to demonstrate loyalty and commitment in tangible ways. A strong emotional bond acts as a bridge between desire and action, transforming attraction into devotion. When a woman can intuitively sense his emotional state and respond in ways that make him feel affirmed and empowered, she taps into a powerful dynamic where his efforts are fueled not by obligation, but by genuine feeling and alignment with her energy. This is why understanding emotional triggers, responding with empathy, and fostering shared emotional experiences are critical. Each interaction, each word, each moment of presence builds layers of connection that accumulate over time, creating a foundation of trust, intimacy, and deep emotional investment. Men are wired to respond to this type of connection with intensity because it touches the core of their masculine drive to protect, support, and commit to someone who resonates with their inner world. And when the 5 words are delivered within this context, they act as a spark that ignites his willingness to risk, to pursue, and to dedicate himself fully. Men are deeply motivated by purpose, meaning, and the sense that their actions have significance beyond the immediate moment. And when a woman communicates in a way that activates this drive, it creates a profound impact that goes far beyond ordinary interaction. The 5 words that hold the power to make a man risk everything for you are effective because they tap into his sense of purpose and show him that his presence, effort, and choices matter in a meaningful way. Purpose is one of the strongest drivers of human behavior, and when a man perceives that his actions are contributing to something valuable, something that reflects positively on his identity and aligns with his values, he naturally becomes more invested. These words convey more than affection. They communicate that he is essential, that he plays a crucial role in your life, and that his efforts have real, tangible impact. When a man feels that he is needed and that his actions make a difference, it triggers a psychological and emotional response that compels him to step up, to take initiative, and to act with courage and determination. Purpose creates a sense of alignment between desire and action, where he feels that pursuing you is not just a choice but a meaningful endeavor, one that validates his strength, capability, and worth. Men are wired to respond to challenges that carry significance, and when the words you speak tap into that need for meaningful contribution, they ignite an internal drive to prove himself, to rise to the occasion, and to demonstrate his commitment through tangible actions. This is why the context in which these words are spoken matters so profoundly, because they must be infused with authenticity, intention, and recognition of his role in the dynamic you share. Purpose also intersects with identity. Men want to feel like the person they are becoming is aligned with their values and aspirations. And when he sees that his connection to you elevates him, inspires him, or gives him a sense of achievement, he is motivated to act beyond ordinary limits. When the 5 words are delivered with sincerity and emotional resonance, they communicate that his presence and contributions are not taken for granted, and this acknowledgement amplifies his willingness to take risks, to prioritize you, and to dedicate himself fully. This activation of purpose is not about coercion or obligation. It is about inspiring him from a place of internal motivation, where he feels that his actions have meaningful consequences and that he is an integral part of a shared vision. Men respond with extraordinary effort when they feel that what they do has lasting value and significance, when their actions are seen, appreciated, and connected to a higher purpose that transcends the moment. By speaking in a way that highlights his role, his impact, and his importance, you create a magnetic pull that aligns his desires, actions, and emotions, compelling him to engage with passion, dedication, and unwavering focus. This is the subtle but profound power of communicating meaning and purpose through words, where the emotional resonance they carry transforms attraction into deep commitment, desire into action, and connection into a dynamic where he instinctively wants to give his all, to step beyond his comfort zone, and to risk everything in pursuit of nurturing and protecting a bond that feels essential, significant, and profoundly worthwhile. Mystery and respect are the twin forces that create a magnetic pull in human relationships, and when wielded effectively, they amplify the power of words to levels that can inspire extraordinary devotion. Men are inherently drawn to what they cannot fully possess or predict, to the sense that there is depth and complexity in a woman that challenges their understanding and invites exploration. This is not about playing games or creating artificial distance. It is about maintaining a sense of self-worth, autonomy, an intrigue that naturally captivates and motivates him. When a woman communicates with a balance of warmth and restraint, when her words carry sincerity but are paired with an air of individuality and independence, they create an irresistible combination that draws him in while simultaneously commanding his respect. Respect is fundamental in any interaction because it signals that she values herself and expects to be treated accordingly. A man responds powerfully to this because it taps into his desire to honor, protect, and rise to the occasion for someone who sees her own value and does not settle for anything less than genuine admiration and commitment. Mystery, on the other hand, invites curiosity and engagement. It encourages him to invest emotionally and mentally to uncover the layers of her personality, desires, and thoughts. When paired with the right words, mystery acts as a catalyst, compelling him to take action to prove himself and to demonstrate dedication in ways that are tangible and meaningful. The subtle art of maintaining intrigue lies in being present and genuine while not revealing every facet of oneself immediately, allowing him to experience the process of discovery, which intensifies his investment and emotional attachment. Respect ensures that this intrigue does not become manipulative or confusing, but instead becomes a platform for admiration, trust, and mutual appreciation. When a woman speaks from a place of authentic value, her words carry weight because they reflect a life lived with intention and self-awareness, signaling to him that she is someone worth prioritizing and protecting. Mystery and respect together create a dynamic where he feels both challenged and inspired, where he perceives that his efforts are meaningful and that his actions have real consequences in nurturing a bond that is not easily won but deeply rewarding. This combination activates his inner drives, his sense of purpose, and his desire to engage with integrity, courage, and commitment. Men respond with greater intensity when they sense that a woman has depth, that she maintains her standards, and that she operates from a foundation of self-respect and authenticity. The 5 words that carry transformative power land with far greater impact in this context because they are received within an environment of emotional resonance, intrigue, and mutual acknowledgement of value. Mystery keeps him engaged, curious, and eager to invest, while respect reinforces the importance of honoring her as a person of worth. Together, these forces create an internal motivation in him that propels him to act boldly, to prioritize her, and to demonstrate commitment not out of obligation, but out of genuine admiration and desire. By understanding the interplay of mystery and respect, a woman can communicate in ways that inspire extraordinary action, deepen emotional connection, and elevate the relationship to a level where his attention, effort, and devotion are directed intentionally and consistently toward her, and the energy created by this balance becomes a magnetic force that drives him to step beyond comfort, to take risks, and to fully engage in proving his commitment and valuing the bond. Shared action is the natural extension of emotion. And no matter how powerful words may be, they achieve their true impact only when they ignite a response that manifests in tangible behavior. Men are wired to respond to emotional resonance. When a woman speaks in a way that touches his heart, validates his value, or aligns with his desires, it triggers an internal drive that moves beyond thought and feeling into action. The 5 words that inspire a man to risk everything for you do so because they awaken this intrinsic motivation, creating a psychological and emotional environment in which he feels compelled to act. Action follows emotion because humans are not purely rational beings. Our decisions, especially in matters of love, desire, and loyalty, are driven by how we feel often more than what we think. When a man experiences a deep emotional connection, a sense of purpose, or a recognition of his value through words, his response is instinctive. He wants to prove himself, to step up, and to demonstrate his commitment in ways that are visible, meaningful, and sometimes extraordinary. This is why the context in which words are delivered matters as much as the words themselves. Timing, tone, and authenticity heighten the emotional impact and create the conditions for action to occur naturally. When a woman communicates with clarity, confidence, and emotional resonance, she activates the part of him that desires to be seen, respected, and needed, which translates into behaviors that reflect effort, devotion, and risk-taking. Men are particularly responsive to situations where their actions are perceived as significant, where they feel that what they do contributes meaningfully to someone they value deeply, and where they sense that their investment of energy, time, or resources is appreciated and recognized. This is why creating emotional resonance is not about manipulation, but about alignment. When his internal state aligns with the energy she projects, action becomes an inevitable consequence. Each gesture, word, or moment of connection reinforces the desire to act, building a momentum that propels him to take steps that demonstrate dedication, loyalty, and courage. Moreover, the anticipation of continued emotional connection acts as a powerful motivator when he experiences that his efforts strengthen the bond, deepen intimacy, or elicit admiration. He is inspired to continue investing at increasingly significant levels. Action is also reinforced by respect and perceived value when he recognizes that the woman he cares for maintains standards, exudes confidence, and communicates meaningfully. He is more willing to step outside his comfort zone, take risks, and prioritize her over competing demands. In essence, emotional resonance creates a feedback loop. Words and behaviors inspire feelings, feelings drive action, and action reinforces the emotional bond, which in turn strengthens his desire to continue proving himself. By understanding this dynamic, a woman can intentionally create interactions where her words are not merely heard, but felt, where emotional alignment translates into tangible behaviors, and where the man she desires feels inspired to invest fully, to take risks, and to prioritize the connection in ways that reflect deep admiration, devotion, and a willingness to commit at a level that goes far beyond ordinary expectations.